Welcome back to the Yay for Business podcast. It's me, Courtney Shaw. This is episode 44, and today we're getting back to my roots. We are talking about how to write great sales pages. This episode is your sales page copy 101, and it is an episode that you are going to want to keep in your back pocket. So let's get started. Like I said, this is my whole background. This is what I originally was able to get known for in the online business space. Niching down as a copywriter into sales pages was really the thing that put me on the map, and it's why I'm so obsessed with niching. And it's so funny because I did not want to be a sales page copywriter. I was really resistant to it. It didn't sound fun. It sounded scary because there felt like a lot of pressure to write someone's sales page. Like, what if it doesn't work? I can't promise results. All these fears that now I see our clients having inside of Yay for 100K that I feel so well equipped to help them with as a coach, because I remember that. I remember avoiding the tangible results for this reason. Next week's episode, we're going to dive into tangible results and why it's so important, how to come up with tangible results, all of that good stuff. But today, I get to have fun and go back to my roots and talk to you about writing excellent sales pages. As you might know, this month, every episode of the Yay for Business podcast is about copywriting. And that is because we are promoting a really exciting workshop we're doing on copywriting inside of Yay for 100K for our clients. And we want to encourage you to apply to join us inside of the program if you've even remotely been considering it, so that you can get access to that workshop. Now, inside of Yay for 100K, you get access to all of our copywriting templates. I mean, it's very, very robust, as well as critiques from coaches on your copy. So it's really a masterclass in copy. We spend 12 months working with our clients, and in those 12 months, you are going to become a master copywriter for your business if I have anything to do with it. But what we wanted to add, and the reason we're doing this workshop, is because we want to get some foundations in place. It's one thing to have templates and understand some of the mechanics of copy. It's quite another to learn the psychology behind great copy, the process of creating great copy, and really becoming a world-class copywriter for your business. And so that's what the masterclass is going to be about, is taking things a step further and training you on how to be the best copywriter you can possibly be. Now, today, we're going to talk specifically about sales pages, and we're going to talk about a few of the core elements that you need to have on your sales page, and kind of like the overall gist of how I approach sales pages and how I want you to think about sales pages. If you've never written a sales page before, you're in luck. I'm going to save you a lot of strife. If you have written a sales page before, you already know it's really hard, and I'm going to save you from avoiding it in the future. And we're going to make this process so much easier. Inside of my program, the Sales Page Kit, which all of our clients also get access to rate their Work With Me pages and sales pages for their services and programs, I break this process down step by step. I mean, it's like Mad Libs for sales pages. And what the number one thing I've heard, because the Sales Page Kit launched in, I want to say 2015 or 2016, so it's been out for about 5 or 6 years, is I get told repeatedly to this day that it makes the process of writing a sales page so easy. And so I'm going to give you a little preview of what that process looks like. Again, come join us inside of Yay for 100K. You just have to apply at courtneyshaw.com/apply, and, get access to our advanced training. And then we can get you enrolled in the program if you want to join us. But I want to give you a little bit of a breakdown of what that process looks like today. The overall structure of a sales page, and then some of the specific sections that we have in a high converting, powerful, well-written, fun to read, enjoyable to experience, totally you sales page. All right. Let's talk about the structure first. I think it's important to know that sales pages are not the Wild West. It's not like anything goes. It's just like pure creativity, open-ended, overwhelm central. That's not what we're doing. That's what I thought sales pages were when I first started. I thought, well, they're all so different. They're all so unique. They all have that vibe of a sales page, but like they're all different. And when I started to analyze other people's sales pages, which I talked about in last week's episode, that I literally would handwrite other entrepreneur sales pages, is when I started to notice the patterns. Okay. So first, I started to notice patterns. Then I started to create sales pages. And then I started to notice that the sales pages I created were following the same patterns. And then I was able to really come up with a actual template for writing sales pages, which are the 14 sections that I teach inside of the sales page kit. Now, sales pages have very basic structure, right? They're one page. And it could be a work with me page too, like for services. They're one page. They're usually those pages you go on and you kind of scroll, right? You scroll for a little bit. Some of them are really long. Some of them are not so long. Length doesn't really matter. That's the number one question I get asked. How long should it be? Don't care. Doesn't matter. Just needs to address all the elements and it needs to convert. So I couldn't care less if a sales page is super long or short, as long as it's addressing what needs to be addressed. And sometimes, more expensive items need longer sales pages, but even that's not necessarily true. Some of it's personal choice. Some of it's, I don't know, like it just depends. But all of them need to address 14 particular things. I'm not going to go over all 14 sections in this episode because that would take me forever in a day. But I am going to go over the first 6 sections that we need so that you understand. Because the first half of the sales page, that is where what we call that's like where we make the offer. That's where we present all the pertinent information. The second half of the sales page is what I call the seal the deal half. That's where we fence push, right? We get people to make a decision. We're overcoming objections. We're giving our refund policy, all that kind of stuff. The first 6 sections, however, that is the core most important part of your sales page. So what I started to notice was that there were these sections on every sales page, and not every other entrepreneur sales page followed my exact formula, but it was amazing how close they were. Like they weren't that creative after all, right? And so this is why I am a big fan of templates because, well, I don't want you to be a copycat of someone else or derivative or anything like that. I think that it's important to know that there is a container for this and a strategy, and it works for a reason. There is no reason to reinvent the wheel if you haven't mastered it. All right. Don't break the rules before you learn them and you learn why they work. And so I was, me, I love to break the rules. The business used to be called the Rule Breakers Club. I wanted to be really creative, but first I needed to master what does a sales page look like. So it's one page. It scrolls up and down and it consists of sections. And in a section, you're always going to have a main headline, a line that sticks out, right? That is bigger, bolder, stands out. And then you're going to have some body text. Now that body text, it could be a subheadline and then a few other sentences. It could be bullet points. It could be little mini sections kind of like laid out like in columns, right? What it's not going to be is paragraph text. One of my number one rules for sales pages and copy in general is a paragraph should never have more than 3 sentences. And I know that's hilarious to anyone who went through academic writing because in academia, a paragraph is at least 3 sentences. So copywriting is totally different. We need our copy to be scannable. And this is why we have sections in the first place. I'm going to give you a tip right now that's going to change your life. And this is what's going to make or break your sales page. Okay? Is each of the sections you have, that headline I was talking about, that headline, if I just read the headline of each of the 14 sections, I should be able to know what the offer is and if I want to buy it. So those headlines of each of the sections I'm going to talk about should give me the main idea of the section. It's not a headline that says, here's what's included. That's not a headline. All right. A headline would say something like, the insert course name here includes 6 modules teaching you the step-by-step process for achieving X. right? That's a headline. Then the subtext under that, the body text, would then go into more depth about that. Okay. But we want our headlines. If I just extract the headlines from your sales page, in and of themselves, they should form a mini sales page. Is your mind blown? Because that is like the most important takeaway I want you to have. Sales pages need to be scannable. They need to be designed with user experience in mind. And one of the things I think has made me so good at this is that I have ADHD and I can't sit and read blocks of text, and I don't read anyone else's full sales pages. I've never read a full sales page of anything I've enrolled in. And I've spent probably hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point in online programs. Never read a complete sales page. Now, some people do, and that's totally fine, but I don't. And so I know that for so many users, a sales page needs to be scannable. So we need to have sections. We need to have headlines. We need to have bullet points. We need to have visual elements that make the copy easy to read. That is why my sales page copy formula works. All right. So that's the overall structure. People tend to worry so much about the specific words. Should I use that word or this word? That is so much less important than the overall structure, the big picture. Okay. We're not talking about language and wording and grammar here. Screw that. You can fix that later. We're talking about overall structure. And is the overall language resonating? The specific wording you use is very not important. Okay. All right. So like I said, in the sales page kit, which is included in E800K, I teach 14 sections and I'm going to go over the first 6 today. So get your pencils out. We're going to get started right now. All right. The first section on your sales page, and this is obviously like the most important because this is the hook. This is the thing that somebody gets on the page and they go, should I keep reading? Is this for me? Am I feeling called into this? All right. Is what I refer to as the cloud. The cloud, if you've been following me for a while, you know exactly what the cloud is. But if you've listened to an episode I did early on the Rainbow of Sales or anything like that, you know that the cloud is the target clients, the target customer, the target audience members' core problem. When I land on a sales page, the first thing that I need to see is, does this person understand how I feel right now? That's what I need. And sometimes people, I've seen resistance to this and I want to advise against it. They go, oh, well, that's negative. I don't want to start with the negative. And what I say is, oh, you are not seeing this for what it is. The cloud isn't negative. If you're judging that the cloud is negative, that means you are judging your potential clients for the problem that they have. The people coming to you have a very specific problem that they want to solve. And until you tell them, I understand how you feel right now, they're not going to listen to you. It's like going to a therapist who's like, I'm going to teach you how to do X, Y, or Z. But you're like, yeah, but like, do you get me? Do you understand my situation? If I don't feel that you empathize with me and you understand me, if I don't feel seen and heard, I'm not open to any solutions that you have. Right? I don't care how many people you've helped, find the love of their life or whatever. If you don't understand my specific struggle. All right. And so we start with the cloud because we want to make sure that we're pulling people in going, hey, yes, that's me. So where are they right now? And we normally start that with a question or a statement of like, are you struggling with X? It can literally be that simple. I'm not going to go into the very specifics of the headlines here. That's all in the sales page kit. I also have a cheat sheet on this. If you go to CourtneyShaw.com/headlines, there's actually a Mad Lib style cheat sheet on the first 3 sections of your sales page. So you can get some examples and some formulas for that. So we call them in and then we get into those details, right? Okay. Are you struggling with X? It might look like this. It might look like that. It might look like this. So give some examples of what that might look like. Then we're going to go into the gold. All right. So the flip side, if the cloud is the current situation, the gold is what they want instead, what they want to be, do, or have instead. It's their pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? And so what I want you to get clear on is, what is the result that your clients are going to achieve and why do they care? What is it that they really want? Now, my clients, they really want freedom from their businesses. They didn't start their business to have a full-time, horrible, oppressive job, but it's kind of became that way, right? Because as you start trying to book clients or you become booked with clients, it becomes stressful and there isn't a lot of freedom there. And what we do in E800K is I work with our clients to get to a point where their business is creating freedom for them. So the revenue is one thing, right? But why do I care about the revenue? Because of the freedom. Okay, what does the freedom look like? Give some examples. So you're going to do the same thing in the gold section as in the cloud section. A big headline that goes, imagine this instead. And then you go into some details. Maybe it looks like this. Maybe it looks like that. Just like maybe it's island hopping in Greece over the holidays. Maybe it's being able to pick up your daughter from school, whatever it is. Go into the tangibleness, the very big visual, the very clear visuals of what that might look like for them instead. So now what we've done is we've positioned our offer. We've positioned that we understand here's where you are and here's where you want to be. Okay. And in a sense, we've highlighted the gap between those two places, which is really important for sales. That's like sales psychology 101, is that we need to make sure that the gap is really clear. And now we fill that gap. All right. And what we do in my metaphor, the rainbow of sales, is we introduce the rainbow. The rainbow connects the cloud and the pot of gold. So the cloud is on one end and the pot of gold is on the other. And the rainbow is the bridge between those two things, between where they are right now and where they want to be. The rainbow is your offer. Okay. So what you're going to do in the third section of your sales page is you're going to say, that's why I created X. That's why I created Yay for 100K. Or Yay for 100K is a 12-month, I can't remember the exact language I have on our page. I could look it up right now, but a 12-month high ticket coaching program that's going to show you how to streamline your services, launch your signature program, and finally create freedom in your business. Right? Again, the headline needs to say the core message. So that's the headline, right? And then we go into, okay, here's what it really looks like. And that's where I call the paint. So the rainbow is, here's my offer. Here's generally what it looks like. And then the next section after that is where we paint a picture of the offer. Here is what that looks like. Okay. So we go from general idea, Yay for Clients is a course. That was my course. Yay for Clients is a 8-week course that's going to help you to, create, launch, and book out your signature service. And then in the paint section, it goes, here's exactly what you're going to learn or experience in the 6 modules. I think I said 8 before, the 6 modules inside of Yay for Clients. And then we paint a picture of each module. Now, if you have a service, it would be, for me, Sales Page CPR, it said something like, here's exactly what it will look like to work with me in Sales Page CPR. Step 1, this. Step 2, that. Step 3, this. Paint a picture of what that experience is, whether it's broken down in steps or modules, whatever, what have you, themes, phases. For us in Yay for 100K, it's like we have phases in our program. We need to break that down and paint a picture of what's included and what that experience is. All right. Then that's when we can get into step 5, which is where we introduce the price. All right. The pricing section is the one people get the most freaked out about. But here's what I want you to know, dear listener. Here's what I want you to know. Everything we've done in your sales page up until this point has shown your target client that the cost of the value of your offer is worth 10 times more than what you've actually priced it. Okay. So the reason we had the cloud and the gold and the rainbow and the paint is so that by the time we give them the price, they go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Right? Where we put the price there, and I do encourage for most offers that we don't do for Yay for 100K because it's a high ticket offer and a different little funnel. And yeah, I won't get into the mechanics of that, but it's a little bit different. But for one-on-one services and for online courses, I always recommend putting the price because the sales page or the work with me page becomes a 24/7 salesperson for your business. You don't have to get on sales calls without people knowing the price where you have to get all nervous and sell them on it. The sales page will do that for you. That's its job. Okay. And if you're not booking clients, if you're getting on sales calls, but people aren't hiring you, or you're, launching your course, but people aren't enrolling after they go to the sales page, it's because the sales page isn't doing its job yet. So we need to make sure that we are honing in on that copy. And you can absolutely do this. So we state the price. And this section is the easiest of all. You just say the investment for this is X. That's it. You There's not a lot to it. We don't have to justify, we don't do anything else there. The rest of the sales page is justifying the price. We don't have to do anything in the pricing section. And right under the price is where we have our call to action. Enroll now, apply now, what have you. Inside of Yay400K, we teach you for services, always application form, apply now. And for your program would be your enroll now button or get started or whatever it is that would allow them to take the action that you want them to take. All right. So that's the core opening of your sales page. Those are the most important sections. I go so much more in depth in this in the sales page kit. Again, that's included inside of Yay400K for all of our clients. And I'm going to be talking more about the copywriting strategy at our workshop on September 8th. So please make sure to apply to work with us inside of Yay400K now so that we can get you enrolled before then so you can join us for that workshop. And again, that'll be recorded and included for all of our clients. For those of you listening, if you can't make it live on September 8th, you'll have access to that recording for as long as you are working with us. So I look forward to diving deep into that and really going back to my roots in copywriting, because I don't know if you know this, but my first course was a copywriting course. And I'm going to be pulling a lot of great lessons from that because I wrote that course and created that course when I was somewhat fresh in learning it, right? I wasn't jaded. It wasn't totally automatic for me yet. I was really fresh out of learning how to create great copy. And I think that's the best time to document how to teach it because you're not suffering as much from that curse of knowledge. So I'm very excited to go deep in the copywriting training and hopefully get to work with you inside of Yay400K as well. Again, go and apply at CourtneyShaw.com/apply. The link is, you can go to the website and the link is right there in the navigation bar, but you can also go to the show notes from this episode and click the link from there. The application takes like 2 minutes to fill out and is really, really easy. And there's no risk or obligation if you apply. So I really encourage you to do that. We'd love to work with you. And I will chat with you next week where we're going to dig in on tangible language and results. So important. So you don't want to miss next week's episode. Yay! Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you love today's content and are ready to finally start making a full-time income from your business this year, make sure to get on the wait list for my program, Yay for Clients, over at yayforclients.com, and you'll be notified the next time enrollment is open. Or if you're already booked with clients and you want to learn how you can turn your signature service into a signature program and add 100K of revenue to your bottom line, come apply to my group coaching program, Yay400K, over at CourtneyShaw.com/apply. Thanks again and have an awesome day.